So I ruined the Master Grade Sinanju. How, you might be asking? Well, it was one simple but easy to make misstep. I used a product I wasn't familiar with. This caused a negative feedback loop that just ruined everything. What was meant to be a quick detail up led to a hasty repair, which led to a longer, drawn out full repair. If I had just gone with my gut and did what I normally do, it would have been fine, but I had to try out this one product I had never tried before, and that is GSI Craos' Gundam Marker EX White Gold. I've had great results with the Gundam Marker EX Chrome, the Mecha Silver, in the past, so I assumed this would be the same. I went in just assuming it would work, and it didn't. But yeah, let's start this story right at the beginning. By the way, if you want yourself a Master Grade Sinanju OVA, the kit that is featured in this video, or other hard to get kits, or you just find it hard in general to find the Gundam model kit you want, you will most definitely find it where I got mine right here, and that is on Buy. So I will throw a link down there in the description, and hopefully you won't ruin what you get. So the story of how I ruined the Master Grade Sinanju started around in the first week of August. On August 13th, I did post my video of building this particular kit. Now, the Master Grade Sinanju might be one of the most tumultuous and convoluted set of releases that exists. Just in case you don't know, there's the 2008 original Mecha, which does have a very breakable inner frame. Then we have this version I'm looking at today, which is a full polystyrene build, which apparently got rid of the breaking frame issues. Then there's a whole bunch of Sinanju steins in various different colors and formats, but when it does come to the nitty-gritty and the heart of the issue, there is no perfect out-of-box Master Grade Sinanju out there, which is very sad. So the OVA right here would be the closest thing to it. But the elephant in the room when it does come to this kit is the fact that it is missing any gold plastic whatsoever. You get stickers, you get decals, or you can paint it yourself, but there is no way to just build this out of box in a snap build with the gold, which is very sad and very un-Bandai-ish. I did do a straight build of the Mecha kit way back when, maybe 10 years or so ago, and it just isn't all that impressive up on the shelf. Just like the OVA when it's out of box right here, it's missing all of the nice gold that really does make the Sinanju shine. It just looks so flat around the sleeves iconography, the flat black just didn't look that great, so of course every builder's first step is to decide what they're going to do with that particular lack of gold. Decals, stickers, or paint. Paint always being the nicest and most finished looking option. Now if I could turn back the hands of the clock, wind back time itself, then what I would have done is what my gut told me to do. I would have taken off all of these black parts, undercoated them with a primer in black that I trust, which is Chaos Black by Warhammer, and then I would have used gold Warhammer paints to just brush line in all of the gold detail, and it would have been one and done. I would have top coated the rest of the kit glossy, kept the blacks matte and the gold metallic. But instead I decided to use this. I was so excited to try this particular marker right here. This is the White Gold Gundam Marker EX. Now back in the past I used the chrome version of this. It's an incredible marker. It actually chromes stuff. It's not just silver paint, it ends up with a nice chrome effect. I painted an entire Helmvig Rheincar high grade kit with it to see how it would work out, and it looked like it was made of shining knightly armor. So I figured this would do the same, so I kind of just went in blind. That is something you should not do. If you're ever using something new on a model kit, make sure to test it on junk parts, a busted kit, the runners, something like that. I just went right in assuming that it would be wonderful. It was not wonderful. First off, this marker is so runny. It runs everywhere, no matter how much I mixed it. I mixed it by hand, I jacked that thing off for maybe 30 minutes straight, I stuck it in one of those little vibrating paint mixers, I did everything. It never thickened up, it always just stayed runny. It almost seems like this is just for batch coating parts entirely, not doing detail. You could do that with the old standard gold Gundam marker, but this did not work out. Now at this point when I saw it running, I should have just stopped in my tracks and rethought it out, but I just bullheadedly went with it. I was like, I'll clean it up later. So I just gooed it on everywhere, all over the place, wherever it leaked, whatever, I'll deal with it. And that is what I did. I just got some sandpaper, sanding sticks, as well as a hobby knife, and I just scratched off the excess once it was done. This wasn't really too bad, except where it would have gotten in between a lot of the various details, like any of the gaps in between the sleeves iconography just filled up with this paint, and it's kind of hard to clean this out of in there by scratching it, so I assumed, hey, thick enough panel lines, that should cover it up. Ho ho, was I wrong. I grabbed the Gundam markers that I usually use to panel line, and first off, I just didn't really think it out, and I used it onto the raw paint. Panel line markers and raw paint don't mix. They don't wipe off, it stains the paint. It just doesn't flow either. Apparently, according to the internet, you're meant to top coat first. I also did that. Ooh, and this is where it just got worse. So yeah, I grabbed myself a rattle can of Mr. Hobby gloss top coat and I sprayed it onto the kit. What I didn't expect is that this Gundam marker EX and top coat do not, well, they don't mix, they're not friends. It didn't work out. It separated the yellow pigment solvent in the actual marker from the heavy metallic pigment that makes the actual shine. So now it's separated into a clear yellow and a silver. So now it looked like badly painted silver with badly painted clear yellow on top of it. It was absolutely destroyed. It just looked terrible. So bad, and not as nice as the actual Gundam marker looked. Well, its finish looked. Not the way it actually spread on the model kit, but the finish was pretty decent. It was ruined. What kind of really bothered me about this is, and you can probably see right there, the decals worked out really nicely. So winding back a little bit to those decals. When it comes to the Master Grade Sinanju OVA, we get a tiny little sheet of decals in here. These are white and yellow, and there isn't really a whole lot, just a couple, and these are the rub-on style. Now, if you get yourself the Master Grade Verka version of this, you get a bigger sheet. Now, in my mind, I would have assumed these were water slide decals, which I thought would be better to use, but they're not. The actual Master Grade Verka Sinanju comes with a giant sheet of rub-on transfers. I have never seen rub-on transfers this big, which actually filled me with joy because rub-on decals are my favorite kind of decals. I feel they can just not be screwed up. You just cut them out, place them where you want them. Once you see that it is lined up perfectly, you just rub the hell out of them, remove the backing, and they're just stuck on there seamlessly. There is no outside border like you would see in a water slide decal that you might need to melt with a solvent afterwards. They're just flush and perfect. If you do actually screw them up a little bit, you can always realign them, add on what just tore off. And if you see any of that kind of residual adhesive on the surface of your kit, you can actually just flip the little plastic bit you just had against it upside down and then just rub that into place and it will be seamless. So these all worked out really well. So I used a lot of the Ver OVA decals as well as a lot of the Verka decals in a little bit of a mix. So I was happy with these. So when the gold got ruined, that made me really sad because the decals ended up well. So yeah, from here I have very little footage as to what happened because I was very hopeless and thought it was destroyed. Now what I did was I hand painted in the gold yet again where it got particularly bad. Then I got some of Citadel's black paints. The ones I actually used were their contrast paints. I think it was Black Templar, which I used because this is nice and runny. So it's almost somewhere between a paint and a panel liner. So it does mean it will go via surface tension up against the edges of anything that you have ruined. However, it did not match the actual plastic or the top coated part, so it looked really patchy. I thought it was all over, so again, no footage here. And I had ran out of top coat, so there was nothing I could do. That's why it's been so long since the actual build of this kit before the review came along, which is this video right here, I guess. I ordered in some gloss top coat, absolutely sprayed this thing down a million times. Yes, the gold started going all funky again, but thankfully the blacks all matched, and this right here is what I ended up with. It is by no means perfect, it is not what I wanted, but sometimes that is the way the journey goes, and you get what you get, and you just have to run with it. You could let it be ruined, or you could just work and learn to make it that bit better. I do wish the blacks were matte, but everything is just in gloss because the whole thing has been gloss top coated. Thankfully, the decals still look really good. Where I got some grainy textures from running out of top coat, that is all gone away. So if you ever get a grainy texture, when you're spraying your top coat, you probably just need to add more top coat in the end. I found in the past, it's hard to use too much top coat unless you're getting drips, but it's very easy to use too little. The blacks all match together pretty well, the gold is okay, it looks decent enough from a distance, and I finally have me a finished Master Grade Sinanju with gold aspects to it. So that does mean, well, it would be pretty typical of Bandai to announce an actual full renewed kit with color separated gold after going through all this trouble. But anyway. So in the end, the worst thing about this marker, besides the fact that it just bled all over the place, the fact that it separates when used with top coat, what really kind of bothers me about it is it got me so excited, I forgot that I wanted to review this actual kit fully before getting it all detailed up, which is what I forgot to do. So that means to finish out and to flesh out the end of this video right here, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a mini review. I definitely do not want to ruin anything on it anymore after everything that has happened. So just going through the basics that I normally do. When it comes to the aesthetics in here, this is gold tier aesthetics, so I gave it 3 out of 5 because the thing is, it's brilliant looking, it's absolutely gorgeous, it's got all the angles where it needs it, and it is just an outright stunner. If it was actually color separated to having the gold, this would be well up in the 4 or 5 depending on how bad I went about doing it. It looks so good, but it definitely needs that modeler's touch to make the rest of it, well, quite literally shine. So out of box, just a 3 out of 5. Sadly, considering how gorgeous it is. When it comes to the articulation on this kit, it is phenomenal. This is a kit that is better than the sum of its own parts. You get so much out of it, the fact that it's got such a beautiful silhouette and unique moving parts that you get such great poses out of it. I did do a couple of poses before painting it up so you can see what it can pull off, and it always looks intense and over the top. Definite 4 out of 5 platinum tier articulation in here, and honestly, the core of this kit is fantastic. Bandai would really just need to 1.5 the colors, because the core is so good. When it comes to every particular point about this kit, it is a mixed bag. When it comes to the accessories in here, I give it 3 out of 5, which is gold tier accessories, which is kind of a little bit weird. I do like the accessories inside of this particular box a lot. The weapons are modular and can attach together in different orders. You can attach various weaponry into the shield, various weaponry into the rifle, and it all just works out really well. You also get a lot of stuff in here which is very intricate when it comes to the build. Color separation wise, not so much, but the build is impressive. The bad point is it can barely hold onto its weapons with those weird little pegs in its hands. So once again, mixed bag. Fantastic weapons, just can't really hold onto them. And sometimes they do look a little bit on the plain side. Lastly then, when it comes to the build, this is platinum tier. 4 out of 5 for the build because it is so much fun. Even after all these years, and I've built how many? 5 Sinanjus now? It never gets boring. The inner frame is fantastic, it builds up so nicely. So much thought and love was put into the actual design of this. I guess that was the kit's original Achilles heel. It was too detailed and too over the top for the technology back when it was released. So that does mean you've got so much, it builds up beautifully, it's all so nice. And again, I hate to be beating that dead horse, but it's getting beat one more time. If we just had that gold, it would almost be perfection. However, the build is beautiful. If you like to paint and detail up your kits and you don't care if they just came in plain old grey everywhere, then this is the one for you. This is a painter's dream. It's beautiful, looks great in every color, and if you love detailing kits, get it. Out of box, the build is still great, but the gold needs attention. So yeah, that is pretty much it from my experience with the Master Grade Sinanju OVA. Again, this didn't go the way I wanted to go, but in the end I am still quite happy. I'm happy with the mistakes that happened and the fact that I could actually pull this from the verge of failure back to something that is still shelf ready. It's not exactly what I wanted. I wanted nice, almost brushed champagne golds, but instead I got a kind of weird candy-coated silver-yellow combo. The decals look great. Sinanju always looks fantastic in gloss, 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 gloss. I just wish I had a little bit of matte in there to bounce off it. Overall though, an interesting build. If you've never built one, it's a trial by fire to test those detailing skills. And again, if you do want one of your own, I got mine through buy, link in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more gunpla videos, and I'll see you next time. It wouldn't be the end of the video without special thanks to each and every single one of you guys for watching my videos, and special thanks to the channel members and the members over on Patreon, including Caleb, Engelhardt, Joe, RG59061, Scotty Thomas, Simon, and Van Fawn.